Hey guys, in today's video we're going to do another discussion type video. I just did one about will ChatGPT take over my job as a web developer. I feel like that was a great discussion video. If you haven't seen it, go watch it and add your comments. I'm looking forward to other people's insights and input. Today I want to address another question that I've seen a lot online. Two questions really. The first one being, why does PHP get such a bad rap as a language in the development community? And is PHP dead? I see that one probably all the time for years now. Um, and I feel like I'm biased because I am a PHP developer. I do dabble in other languages, but mainly I'm a PHP developer. So I might be a little biased towards the output of this question, but I'll try not to be. So yeah, I think first we'll address why it gets a bad rap. And I'm 38 years old, so I've been messing with PHP for probably over 20 years now. And I think it gets a bad rap from back in the beginning in like PHP 3 and 4, how it was just a set of functions and object oriented code wasn't really like it was very hacked together. It wasn't a full system. And back then, you had a lot of people using bad language constructs, writing bad code. And it just grew from there. Like with PHP, you write bad code, it kind of became synonymous with bad code. Um, but in the newer versions, like in PHP 8, that just has every language construct that other languages have. It's very well put together, it's very fast. Um, so I wouldn't say that PHP itself is a bad language. It's actually a great language. It serves its purpose. It is for web development. I wouldn't try to use PHP to write a command line script or write machine code, even though it could do that. It is capable of doing that. There are just other things better suited. But PHP as itself is a great language. And one of the things that it used to get docked for online was for being slow. And every language, depending on how the code is written, can be slow. PHP itself, especially in the newer versions, is extremely fast. And if you want to use PHP, the language itself is not going to limit you. I have worked in Fortune 500 company. I've worked for Olympic sports when they were running Google ads. We set up landing pages that got just tremendous amount of views. I've worked for websites that have served millions of requests per day. I'm not going to name drop here, but you probably would have heard of them if I mentioned it. And the thing that they all have in common is we used PHP on all of them. Um, and we never got to the point where the language itself couldn't handle the code. It was always code refactoring. It was infrastructure, setting up things like that became limiting. It was never the language itself. PHP has been able to handle all of those situations, and it's really not a bad language. If you see somebody say it is a bad language, they probably have their own preferences. They probably have a reason why they say that it's bad, and it might be a valid reason. It also might be a little bit misunderstood. Um, Another one of the reasons I feel like it gets a bad rap is because it's been kind of married to WordPress software. A lot of people they assume that PHP is synonymous with WordPress and they don't like WordPress. A lot of people think WordPress is just like a click and point builder and they don't really, or a drag and drop builder, and they don't really understand like under the hood. It really is a full-fledged CMS. It's very extensive and it works great. There are some problems with it as there are with any CMSs, and it also has its use cases. Like I wouldn't use WordPress to build a membership website with hundreds of thousands of users. It's possible you do heavy caching, but at that point I feel like you're just fighting the system. So it's always like use what tool is appropriate for the job. And for web development, I've never really encountered a case where PHP wasn't appropriate. Um, So getting married to WordPress, I feel like had a bad rapport with the development community. WordPress does catch a lot of flack. Some of it's deserved, a lot of it's not. And another reason it gets bad flack is because like it's very PHP is very easy for a beginner to pick up. It doesn't take much to get a PHP enabled web server and get a code up and running. All you have to do is save a .php file with a opening PHP tag at the beginning and you're up and running. You can learn at your own pace. There's so much information available about PHP online. You're still capable of writing bad code as a beginner, and that's expected to happen. That's going to happen with any language. So the question why PHP gets such a bad rap, I feel like it's just stigmatized and it's really not valid. Like PHP is great for its use case. And that kind of brings us into the next question, is PHP dead? And that's a resounding no. We've been hearing this question like every year for 10 years now. PHP has been around a long time. I feel like we get that question because there's a lot of like, I don't know the word I'm looking for, like a lot of excitement around these JavaScript based frameworks that come out or new languages that come out. And PHP is kind of just like the same old thing, but it's not going anywhere. It powers a huge percentage of the web, a lot of that thanks to WordPress. Um, so PHP is definitely a valid language to learn and pick up. It's very capable of playing the role that it's playing, and it's not going anywhere. If you look on Indeed or a job website and search for PHP developer, even WordPress developer, you're going to find so many people looking for it. Like PHP development is a broad spectrum of development, and you're going to always be in work if you learn PHP. There comes the HTML, CSS, JavaScript, SQL, all that stuff that comes along with it. But that also comes along with other languages too, like React or any of your JavaScript-based frameworks. HTML is the language of the web, so all the other languages need that too. PHP is not dead. It's an emphatic no. Learn it, take your time, write good code. It's going to be fast. It's going to be scalable. I don't think any of us are reaching the point where we're going to be serving 5 million requests at a time. So unless we're building the next Facebook or Instagram or LinkedIn, we don't have to worry about that. Even if we do, that becomes a problem of refactoring and infrastructure. So keep writing PHP. Let me know your thoughts on these two questions. And if you like this video, like and subscribe. Look forward to more how-to videos, and we'll see you in the next one.